So it's going to be up to you to how do you like your coffee? Do you like it light roast, medium roast, or dark roast? And don't burn it. Don't get burnt roast. Because we like good coffee too. We don't like drinking, some of the bigger name brands. Hey, this is better than Starbucks, better than Dunkin's. You can do this at home. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the basics are a popcorn popper. This is a at-home roaster if you're not going to pop popcorn in it. So, all right, so you're going to need that. This is just a regular old popcorn popper. It would be better if you had the ones that had the side, had the holes in the side, but that is not what I got. I got the one that's got the holes in the bottom. Then you're going to need this contraption right here. All this does is has this blade right here in it. And what that does is when the air comes up, it forces the air to spin. And it spins around and around, and it makes the hot air roast the beans evenly. So we're going to take this, and then I'm just going to slide that down in. This comes off, by the way. So slide it down in there, and then we got to put some coffee in it. So what I've got is this right here. By the way, you can get this from Sweet Maria's. It's kind of like a online coffee store, and you can get you can get the popcorn popper. You can get all the things that you need to do this at home at Sweet Maria's. And no, I'm not affiliated with them at all. But hey, if they see this video, I'm all up for it. All right, so I got some Brazil Bahia Viviana a parasite. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. But all I know is it's going to be good coffee. Let's get to it. This cup thing right here just sits on top. And what this is this is the measuring cup. So we're going to take our beans. And then I'm just going to fill it up just like this. So what I'm doing is just taking a measurement, because if I put too much in there, it ain't gonna work right. Uh-oh. All right, so I'm gonna take this, I'm just gonna pour it down in there and spill it all over the place. That's okay. Then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna set it right back on top. And I'm gonna take this and set it back on top. And what's that gonna do is it's gonna make the chaff. When you roast coffee, and here's a bean right here, this bean is gonna swell up, and then the outside of it is gonna like chafe off. It's just a little thin membrane like thing that's just gonna come off, and it's gonna come out the popcorn popper as if you were popping popcorn, and then it would be coming out. So that's all. That's what's gonna happen. A disclaimer: you got to do this outside. If you do this inside your house, it's gonna get that chaff everywhere, and you're not gonna want to clean it up. So it's just better to do outside. And out here, I can take the leaf blower and just blow it off, and it's fine. All right, now y'all with me so far? Is we got a popcorn popper with the insert, beans in the cup. All we got to do now is turn it on. Now, you see it. See how the air is going around it? It's already getting hot. So it takes about 3 minutes or so, 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how hot it is outside. And it's pretty cool out here right now. It's probably in the high 60s, maybe low 70s, somewhere around 70 degrees-ish. So it's real mild and temperate right now. So it might take a little bit longer, maybe 4 minutes. It's not gonna take too much longer. when it starts, the chaff starts going out, I'm gonna turn this camera around and show y'all it actually turning colors while you're watching it. We'll just check on it. See that chaff? See that chaff coming off? It's swelling. That's what it looks like right there. Now, one thing to consider is the longer you leave it in there, the darker it's gonna roast it. So it's gonna be up to you to how do you like your coffee? Do you like it light roast, medium roast, or dark roast? And don't burn it. Don't get burnt roast. So we're gonna be watching these beans, and when it starts to look like, hey, some kind of medium-ish, that's when we're gonna turn it off. As you can see, it's all ready. I mean, there's a couple of green ones in there, but they're not even really all the way green. It's getting there, and it's only been just a minute or two. See all the chaff, right? You don't want this mess in your house. Outside is definitely best. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. All right, so I dumped it in here, and that's it right there. So to see this colander right here, what I'm trying to do now is cool it down. And I just don't want to, see, it's still cooking while it's still sitting there. And I don't want it too dark. I don't like my coffee too dark. So that's probably somewhere in the middle. Let's just cool it down just like that. There we go. Now I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna roast one more time, and that'll give me probably 2 weeks of coffee, give or take. The last time well, maybe not quite that long. The last time that I did this, it lasted me about 5 or 6 days of coffee. And I am a coffee drinker, especially in the morning. But this coming winter, when it's cold during the day, I'll be drinking coffee all day long because I just like it. All right, see this thing right here? Just remember, see, I'm picking it up with tongs. This thing is hot and it will burn your hand. My friend Justin, when he came over here to show me this, he burned his hand on that because I didn't have the tongs out. All right, so we got to put some more coffee in it. I've got my measurement. All right, got my measurement, and I'm just gonna pour it down in there, put that back, and then set this back on top of it. There we go. Now we're gonna do it again, because I want, I want to make when I do this, I want to have some on hand. I don't want a lot on hand, because the trick to coffee is freshness. Now, a lot of times when they roast coffee, the clock starts ticking. And when it's in the bean, like when it's in the bean, the green bean, dried bean, it will last a long time. But once you roast it, the clock starts ticking on freshness. So I just want to roast enough for me for, a couple weeks. All right, the second batch is starting to turn brown. I think we're gonna get this out of here. Try to cool it down. While I'm doing it, this one bag, I'm just gonna roast the rest of it. I don't think it's a full cup, but that's okay. We're just gonna roast the rest of it while I'm doing it. And folks, this is so easy. This is so easy. You can do this whenever you wanted to. You could make up a batch and then make you enough to last a month. I probably wouldn't go any further than that, because it's just it is a giant difference between fresh roasted coffee and the stuff you buy in the store. I mean, it is literally night and day. If you ever go to a place where they roast it right, they roast it. Of course, I can't drink this right now. It has to sit for 24 hours and cool down, and it has to go through whatever the process is of after it's cooked, it's going to have to set. So, but if you ever go to a place where they've got fresh roasted beans and then they grind it right there before you drink it, oh my gosh, you don't need creamer, you don't need sugar, or at least I don't. I'll make that disclaimer. I don't. If it's good coffee, it actually, to me, messes it up to put creamer, sugar, or anything in it. Now, if you're drinking like Folgers or Maxwell House that's been stale, been sitting on the shelf for months and maybe even a year at a time, and hey, sometimes it just needs a little sugar. But that's because it's stale. That's why. So I'm going to do this last little bit, and then I'm going to let this set for 24 hours, and then I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to grind some of it, and we're going to make some coffee. I think that's kind of a light roast right there. I'm going to stop it right now and mix it with the other. Look right there. Okay, this is what we got, and we're gonna let that sit. So once you roast your coffee and you got it in your colander or whatever it is that's got holes in it and it's gonna let it help it cool, just set it on the counter. Leave it out of the way for a day. After that, tomorrow, I'm gonna be putting it in a container, and then I can just grind it when I want to. Good morning, everybody. Now, just as I said, I was going to come back to you in the morning. So what I do is, see this metal coffee can that had other kinds of coffee in it. What I'm doing is I'm grinding up enough for a week, and I'm putting it in this metal can. And now I'm just waiting on the coffee pot. So that is fresh roasted coffee. It is way better than Starbucks, way better than Dunkin's, or anything else that you can come up with. It is better. The distinctive flavors and the types of beans that you use can only be limited by your own imagination. And something that I learned from Justin is the reason that this coffee is so much better, it is fresh. A lot of the coffee that you get in the store and a lot of the coffee that you get in your major brand coffee shops are just stale. And because they roasted them months and months in advance, and it's a logistics problem for them to get you fresh roasted coffee. I'm sure some of it is fresher than what you buy at the local grocery store that's been sitting on the shelf for months, but you just cannot beat. I roasted this yesterday, and it's amazing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope that you will try to roast your own coffee. It is so easy and it's very inexpensive. For what it costs me to roast this coffee and have this cup of coffee is probably about 2/3 to half of what coffee in the grocery store costs. It's because I took out the middleman labor. I did it myself. It's very inexpensive to do this, and you can have gourmet coffee, fresh roasted, at your house every morning. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. God bless.